Hello, 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 hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I have a son, Owen, who is 13 and has autism. We paint together, working on his fine motor skills. He helps me paint the backgrounds of our paintings, and then I paint the rest. So I'm making a little, do you say vase? Do you say vase? I'm making one of those. Pitcher? Cup? Something? I'm making a little different angled today. So, if I sound exhausted, guess what? I is. I truly am. I did not sleep last night at all. Between noises, hence, I thought I turned my phone off, but if you've watched before, you know I don't remember a lot. Oh, silly. So anyways, last night I just did not sleep. And then, I was going to say, he usually wakes up around 5, which is most of the time true. He occasionally will sleep a little bit later, but it's more around 5. So he got up and he was not pleased that I was not as awake as him. So that kind of started our morning. Oops, I totally forgot to put any green on here. Some days, folks. And then you see, let's see if I can stick it. This is how it goes with me. I open containers and I should just use it like okay. I love finger painting. There's a leaf. You just gotta laugh about it because, maybe I should just finger paint the rest of it. I haven't done a lot of finger painting lately. It is quite fun to get nice and messy. So anyways, I was not awake enough to handle all of the yelling that was about to partake in our morning. And I told him that we were not going to have the yelling at 5 o'clock in the morning because he was concerned about when he was going to his grandma's house. And I told him that if he continued to yell at me, that he would not have to worry about that because we would stay home. But the problem was I had to go to I'm going to tell you as soon as my brain can tell you, I had to go to a CPR class. I was trying to decide what I wanted to paint and wear. So that was not helping the fact that I was not able to answer. Anyways, so he had to go someplace. He had to go to grandma's house or some, because he could not go to the CPR class with me. And he knew, because we had been talking about it, that I had to go to an appointment today. So he knew he was going to his grandma's house, and he knew from yesterday that he was not going to his grandma's house at 5 o'clock in the morning. He never goes to his grandma's house at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm using a bigger brush, so at some point I may change over, but we're going with this for right now. So, anyways, he took note and went back to his room for a little while I woke up, and he before he left, I told him that when he came back to talk to me, that we were not going to have more of this screaming, and that we could talk together about all of the things that were happening. And I understood that he wanted to get going, but it wasn't fair to either of us if we couldn't talk about what he wanted out of his day and what was going to actually happen. So when I slept, well, I didn't technically sleep, but I was laying there for another 20 minutes. And when I got up and he came back to talk to me, he was much more in the calm realm, and was at least able to kind of get through the moments with me. And I get it. We all kind of wake up sometimes on the cranky side of life. But that's the purpose that we have to kind of make sure we work together on. This green leaf down here is really bothering me because it's not like, it's very light. So, he went to his grandma's house. She picked him up around 11, and I went to the CPR class. And he went to his grandma's, and he did fine. He had wanted to wear his, what he calls design or designer pants, depending on the day. But they're like an acid wash. And a while ago, he got rid of his light blue jeans, which had caused many an issue throughout the last, year, basically. So we got through those, the light blue. He threw them away after many things. So anyways, today's was the designer. They're like an acid wash kind of thing. Well, he kept taking them, not today, many days, and putting them in numerous places. And if he doesn't keep them in the laundry, then I try to get him to understand that they have to go in the laundry for me to be able to clean them. And I want him to take some accountability. I want him to start understanding why, we do certain things and what happens. And it just, that's one of the things we have to kind of work on, and make sure that he understands that if he doesn't keep them in the laundry, then I can't do the laundry. I can't make them clean unless he keeps them in there. So, this is a lesson, and this is many things. Well, he brought them to me, so I told him that I would wash them. But me washing them, he had to be ready by 11. I can't hear the dryer's bell ringer upstairs. We have a basement, and it goes off in the basement. Well, I put a timer, but he turned the timer off. And I went down too early, but by the time I went down and looked at everything and tried to, figure it out, I didn't have enough time to wait on the laundry and then go back and wait till they dried, because he was getting ready. He had to get ready to leave, like right then, kind of thing. So, the moral of the story is he did not get to wear the pants that he wanted to wear. This was not he handled it better than he could have, but he was not thrilled that he did not get to wear those pants. And I explained to him why. And so he, wore his other ones. And he had told my mom, but she didn't know why, he didn't get to wear them. He said they were wet, but she didn't quite know what had happened. So when I got there, he went back into it, and I explained that when he got home, they should be dried by the time that he got home, because I had a few minutes, so they were in the dryer prior to me leaving. And so soon as he got home, he immediately put on his his design jeans. So, it's one of those things that you're not technically winning a battle or, trying to decide what's the right answer. It's just a matter of working through it with him so that he learns how to handle what's happening. I feel like it's very flat, and I'm like, I need some colors or something. It's just not doing what it's not doing what I need it to do. And when I started off using the big brush, that wasn't really what I had in mind. And so sometimes it's hard for me to adjust when I'm in two different modes, if that makes sense. So we're just going to add more colors. So, and like I tell him, this is not always just like, he's not always right. I'm not always right. We're not always right together. We have to go through these moments and figure it out. Like, he needs to understand that just because he wants something doesn't mean that it's actually going to happen. And like with this, there was several things that played against us. He's been taking these because he wants to wear them all the time, and he hides them so that he could just wear them. And I tried to explain to him that sure, he can wear, his jeans a couple times, because who doesn't wear certain clothes, numerous times. But when they're dirty, they're dirty. And the one time he wore them, he got stuff on them, so that it wasn't like he could wear them multiple times. So he really needed them to be washed. Well, again, that really wasn't what he wanted to happen. He wanted them to just magically be clean. So it's a big learning process for both of us to this flower here is so down, like it should be up, and it's down. I was explaining that off camera, so it feels like it's in, and it should be elevated a little bit more. So I'm going to try to add some color, but I haven't decided which one. So I'm looking at I have organized and reorganized, and then everything is back to being unorganized. So I'm stuck in a loop. I'll get there again. Everything is just something right this moment. So I'm trying to, this is definitely not the color I want it to be. Oh, I don't think this is going to be it either. Bear with me. So, he was very excited that his jeans were clean and dry and ready to be worn when he got home. And he will probably want to wear them to church tomorrow, which is, totally fine. But he also knows that if he wakes up tomorrow morning and he yells at me again, that we will not be going to church. So, because I told him, we can only do so much. We have to work together. We can't be mad, over clothes. I mean, we all have our emotions, and we're all allowed to have our emotions, but I want him to understand that when I'm trying to help him through something, that I'm not the one that he needs to be, he doesn't need to be yelling at either one of us or mad about it when we're both trying to do what we need to do. So, I think not having them to wear today helped him a little bit to understand that we kind of have to work on that a little bit more. But we'll see. We will see. I probably don't want to necessarily do what I just did, but I did it. This paint that's underneath there is thicker than this paint, and red sometimes, that's why this looks so flat, is it dries sometimes. Depends on the color that you've got it on the background. So, we're just going to keep, digging a hole, I think. This is... there, maybe. So, I just pray tomorrow that he wakes up and he is in a great mood, no yelling. And, we have had one thing after another with winter. He was sick, and then we had this wild winter that came through, and just it was hard because the kids were off school for so long, and then it's been a lot. It's been a lot. So I understand Cranky, because at this point I think we're all a little tired of winter. So, this up here almost made me think it was like a butterfly or something. Huh. Which kind of makes me want to I was going to make it into something, but I think if I try, well, it won't hurt to try. I'm going to just do a little, if I can. Okay, that's not working. Ooh, this brush is not my thin brush. Yep, that's not gonna. That is definitely not my thin brush. And I do not have it. Oh, and now I've. Okay, I was going to make it into a little butterfly, but that is not gonna fly. So we're just gonna put it back. We're just gonna do that. Okay, I think we're there. So tomorrow is a brand new day. That's what we're going for. You know, that's what we're gonna deal with. Okay, I'm just doing this little thing right here just to get a little blue on there. And I think we're about done. Okay, so we do O for Owen, and then L, and B. So, all right. Thanks so much for watching and being a part of our day. Toodles, toodles.